Hey guys, I'm trying out this YouTube video making thing. I figure I have a camera, I have a tripod. Might as well give it a go. It's certainly easier than writing an entire, you know, an entire blog post. Uh, anyways, what I wanted to talk about today is actually a pretty serious thing. Brian Banks, if you haven't heard the story, he was a 16-year-old in the early part of this last decade. I think it was 2002, maybe 2003. Accused of rape by his girlfriend at the time. He pleaded no contest. His lawyer suggested he do so, saying, you're going to have an all-white jury. They're going to convict you because you're a big black man. And, he's 16. Didn't let him talk to his parents. So he decided, hey, if I've got the chance at probation, I guess I'm going to take this opportunity, so to speak, anyways, ended up spending 5 years in prison and another 5 with an ankle bracelet on at house arrest, which isn't exactly prison, but it's certainly not freedom, right? Anyways, story recently, she ended up hitting him up on Facebook, I guess. It's a really screwy story. Hits him up on Facebook, friend requests him, wants to hang out, and he's just, obviously, what the hell is this about? Anyways, he gets a private eye, gets her on tape saying he did not rape her, gets himself exonerated. Now he's got the opportunity to try out for some NFL teams, I guess, but certainly not going to have the shot that he did, not going to have the opportunity, the chance for success that he would have had. We're talking about a 16-year-old kid, blue chip linebacking prospect. He'd already verbally committed to USC, and it's not easy, or it's not hard, it's not hard to imagine a situation where this kid is playing with, guys like Keith Rivers, who are some Lofa Tatupu, Brian Cushing was a little later, but, when Pete coached at USC, that was linebacker university. He was pumping out All-Americans, early draft picks constantly. This guy pretty much lost almost every chance. I mean, he's getting a look right now by teams, the Seahawks. I think the Redskins are going to give him a chance, maybe the Dolphins. But he's a long shot. I mean, this guy's chance in an NFL career was likely stolen from him by this, and you'd expect him to be out of his mind pissed off. And he has really displayed an impressive outlook on it. I had an opportunity to listen to some audio today. Dori Monson on 97.3 FM had Brian Banks on, and he really just exemplifies a great person, willingness to turn the other cheek. Anyways, I thought I'd give you guys the opportunity to listen to some of this, so here goes.
What it's like to lose what are great years in most of our lives to a prison cell. I mean, that had to be awful for you.
Yeah. There's really no words to describe the experience of prison. The inhumane conditions, the label, the brand, and just the many years spent away from family and friends and my freedom. It's very difficult.
Especially when it's for a crime you didn't commit. I mean, that had to eat you up. And yet, you don't sound like a bitter guy as I talk to you today.
Yeah, it's very understandable when people first hear about my story to be upset and to be angry for me. I've been there. I've had those days where I was upset and bitter, and I was when I first received a 6-year sentence. It was around that time that I later realized that hanging on to those emotions and being in that mindset, it only affected me. It never changed the situation, nor did it change the thought process of the people who put me in the situation. so I really just realized that I needed to worry and focus on me rather than the situation, and that's really what ultimately got me to where I am today.
Well, that lack of bitterness is serving you very well. Let me play for you a little.
Truly, truly inspirational. I mean, I'm mad for him, and the fact that he can just brush it off like that and move on, really impressive. Anyways, that's all I got today. That's all there is. But if you want to hear the entirety of that interview, just go to mynorthwest.com and click on the podcast link at the top, and it's right under Dori Monson. So urge you to do so. Really good interview. Really inspirational story. Really inspirational end to, a terrible story, I guess, is how you'd put it. Anyways, signing off. Later.